In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front drive shaft on this Ford Ranger. This, of course, applies only if you have four-wheel drive. Let's get started. Looking up at the front differential, you see where the drive shaft connects to the yoke right there. So it has four 10mm bolts, but they also have a T30 Torx cutout on them. And that is helpful because it's actually almost impossible to get 10mm socket or wrench on here just because this cap is so close to the bolt. So a Torx bit is the only thing you're going to fit in there. In order to get the best mechanical connection basically between the two, I'm going to take a pick, scrape out any debris, corrosion, rust that has built in here, and that's going to help me get the best engagement out of the teeth on the Torx bit, because if you strip this out, well, it's not going to be fun. So take your socket, put it in there, make sure it's seated all the way, and break this free. You're going to have to hold this. If you can't hold it by hand, you can stick a pry bar in there. You can stick a pry bar right in between here. As you loosen, make sure the socket stays straight and doesn't start to bend. There we go. Go slow, steady pressure. If you absolutely have to apply heat, be very gentle. I'm just going to remove each bolt completely. And we'll move over to the next one. Okay, take the cap off on this one. And last one. There we go. Steady pressure. There we go. Take that cap off with the bolt, and the front is free. At this point, you can take a pry bar and just pry this out. There we go. You can let it hang down. We'll have to clean up this area right before installation, but front is disconnected. Where it connects to the transfer case in the back, there are just several long 8mm headed bolts. You can take those off with an impact. That'll be easiest. Hold it on the last one. Sometimes they like to fall off. There we go. You should be able to get this out of here. Now, it's most likely going to be stuck in this cup here, so you'll have to tap it out of place. Looks like a hammer alone won't do it, so I'm going to get a pry bar, but be careful so it doesn't fall down. There we go. Okay, and you can take it and remove it. And there it is. There's your old drive shaft. Now we have to clean this area. I'm just going to use a wire wheel and just make sure it's nice and clean. It's not going to look perfect, but I want to get all the rust off of there. Spray it down with brake parts cleaner to get all the dust off of there. And once it's dry, spray some NEC so it doesn't rust in the future. Over here, let's do something similar, but there isn't as much corrosion to remove. Once again, doesn't have to be perfect. Now take the new drive shaft and slide it up into place. Line it up with the rear first. Okay, at this point it's a good idea to have your bolts ready. My drive shaft came with new bolts, so that's what I'm going to use. Try to line up one of them. I know this one doesn't have a bracket on yet, I will put it on. I just want this to start on its threads so it can actually secure the drive shaft so I can let go of it. These are all 6mm Allen bolts, so I'm going to spin this and attempt to start 3 that are on a bracket here. This new bracket comes with 3 instead of just 2 on a bracket, but that's okay. I'm going to try and go in a cross pattern. That way I make sure it's being pushed in or pulled in, I guess, evenly. Now I'm going to take this one out so I can put it on its corresponding bracket, and we'll put that bracket on. Now grab the drive shaft and slide it onto the front yoke here. Make sure the caps line up. Once they do, let's put the other cap on. As you can see, this is seated right in between those 2 notches. There we go. Press it on. Let's put the caps on. It's important that you install new hardware if necessary so that this doesn't give out further down the line. And then, next time when it has to be removed for whatever reason, it's not too rotted to be removed properly. Let's put the other side cap on as well. Oops, make sure that doesn't happen. There we go. It should have a little notch that it stays on. Go back and forth so you can seat the drive shaft properly and hold it with your other hand if necessary. Okay, this one's tight. Let's tighten this one. .168 inch-pounds is the torque for these, not foot-pounds. Don't tighten it that much. And now with the other end installed, we can hold the drive shaft and torque these to 22 foot-pounds. That's one. I'm going to mark it with a yellow crayon so I know that I did this one. And I'm going to go across to the next one. I'm not going to go around. I'm going to go across so I can seat this drive shaft properly. All right, both of these are done. I left these for last. So that's it. Drive shaft is torqued, front and back. Now, take it for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.